The Bermuda Triangle holds a powerful grip on our imagination. It is a place of deep mystery. Many people know it as the Devil's Triangle. This patch of the Atlantic Ocean has become famous for supposedly swallowing ships and planes without a trace. The stories are compelling. They speak of strange fogs, lost time, vessels that vanish in calm seas. For decades, these tales have fueled books, documentaries, countless late-night discussions. The legend suggests that some unknown, perhaps paranormal force is at work within its boundaries, a force that defies conventional explanation and leaves behind only silence and questions. The area itself is not officially recognized on any world map. It is a loosely defined region. Its points are generally said to be Bermuda, Miami, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Within this vast expanse of open water, the legend began to take shape in the mid-20th century. The story of Flight 19 is the heart of the Bermuda Triangle myth. On that December afternoon in 1945, 5 Avenger bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They were on a simple navigation training mission. The flight leader was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, an experienced pilot, new to this specific area. The weather was clear at takeoff. The mission was supposed to be routine. They would fly east, then north, and then return to base. About 90 minutes into the flight, the situation began to deteriorate. Lieutenant Taylor radioed that his compasses were malfunctioning. He believed he was over the Florida Keys, but he was actually far to the east, over the Bahamas. This initial error set off a chain reaction of confusion. Students trusted their leader. Despite ground control's attempts to guide them, Taylor became increasingly disoriented. As daylight faded and fuel ran low, the situation became desperate. Taylor made the fateful decision to lead the squadron farther out to sea, believing he was heading for Florida. He was flying deeper into the Atlantic. Final transmissions indicated preparations to ditch in rough seas. A Martin Mariner rescue plane also vanished, likely exploding mid-air due to fuel vapors, as a nearby ship reported. Once the legend took hold, explanations grew wilder. One of the most popular theories involves extraterrestrial activity. Proponents suggest an alien abduction hotspot, where ships and planes are taken, not crashed. Others speak of magnetic anomalies, gateways to other dimensions, even a time-space vortex. Missing vessels are imagined to slip into another reality, an idea fed by science fiction. A third explanation ties the triangle to Atlantis. Psychic Edgar Cayce claimed, Atlantean crystal technology still discharges energy that disables craft. These myths offer grand narratives that outshine mundane causes like bad weather or engine trouble. But there is no scientific evidence to support any of these claims. They remain speculation, folklore, and entertainment, not fact-based investigation. To understand the reality, we look to the sea itself. One powerful, realistic explanation is the region's volatile weather. This area can generate sudden, violent storms. Tropical cyclones and hurricanes frequently travel through this corridor. Calm one moment, then engulfed with little warning. In past decades, a sudden squall could be fatal. No time for distress calls, debris scattered across a wide area. Beyond storms, rogue waves, now confirmed by satellites, can reach 100 feet or more. Even large ships can be overwhelmed and lost in minutes. The ocean floor here includes some of the deepest trenches, like the Puerto Rico Trench, an abyss where wrecks are nearly unrecoverable. Even today, locating and recovering wreckage at those depths is incredibly difficult. A sudden squall disables a plane, a rogue wave sinks a ship, deep trenches swallow the evidence, appearing to outsiders as vanishings. Consider the known conditions, and the mystery fades. Powerful natural forces in an unforgiving part of the world. A major oceanographic feature is the Gulf Stream, a powerful warm current originating in the Gulf of Mexico, flowing through the Straits of Florida and up the U.S. coast. It is a fast-moving river within the ocean, with currents reaching several knots. For small boats or planes, the Gulf Stream acts like a conveyor belt, carrying wreckage far from the site, hundreds of miles in a day or two. Search teams focus where the wreckage no longer is, and empty searches fuel the myth. The stream also shapes weather, forming fog, squalls, thunderstorms that can appear with minimal warning. Pilots can hit fog walls or downdrafts. Historically, small intense cells often hid from larger radars. The Gulf Stream contributes in two ways. It helps cause accidents with sudden weather, and it removes evidence efficiently. It does not make vessels vanish. It makes them very hard to find, feeding the legend. Weather and currents are powerful, but human error is common everywhere. Many triangle incidents trace back to poor decisions, inexperience, and disorientation. In Flight 19, the leader mistook his position and led the formation farther out to sea. Private pilots and recreational boaters may underestimate navigation without landmarks, or the speed of weather changes and the Gulf Stream. They might run out of fuel, fail to check forecasts, or lack proper equipment, mistakes that turn fatal offshore. Spatial disorientation causes pilots to misperceive attitude when the horizon vanishes. It is a known global risk, not unique to the Triangle. Re-examinations often reveal a trail, sailing into an approaching storm, miscalculated fuel loads, or skipped procedures. These explanations are mundane and tragic, but most likely true behind many so-called mysterious disappearances. Beyond weather and human error, mechanical failure accounts for many losses. Complex machines break, engines fail, structures crack, electrical systems short out. On land, failure may mean an emergency landing. Over deep ocean, it can be a death sentence. A powerless ship is at the mercy of waves. A plane with a failed engine has few options. Legends cite spinning compasses, but there is a simpler explanation. True north and magnetic north differ by declination. Near the agonic line, they align. Navigators who don't account for changing declination can be led astray. The compass behaves correctly. It's the interpretation or equipment reliability that fails. Modern systems aren't infallible. A single GPS failure forces a fallback to traditional skills. Many lost vessels were older designs with known flaws. The Mariner likely exploded due to fuel vapors. Consider stress, metal fatigue, and past tech limitations, and losses become understandable. The core claim is unusually high disappearances, but the data says otherwise. Researchers and the US Coast Guard report no abnormal incident rate compared to other heavily trafficked seas. This is one of the world's busiest corridors. More traffic naturally yields more incidents in absolute numbers. What matters is rate relative to volume, and there's no anomaly. Author Larry Kusch found poor research, exaggeration, even fabrication behind many famous cases. The Coast Guard does not recognize the Triangle as a hazard. Reviews show losses due to physical causes. Nature and human fallibility outdo science fiction. The data does not support a uniquely dangerous area. The Bermuda Triangle is a powerful modern myth. From the tragedy of Flight 19, a narrative grew: alien abductors, time portals, lost Atlantean tech, fueled by sensational media. Thrilling explanations give a grand story where a mundane reality exists. Volatile weather, hurricanes, sudden squalls, the powerful Gulf Stream, and deep ocean trenches produce accidents and hide evidence. Add navigational errors, inexperience, poor judgment, and simple mechanical failures, and the mystery dissolves. Ultimately, the Triangle is a mystery created by writers, cherry-picked data and exaggeration meeting our love of a good story. Look at the records, understand the science, acknowledge human fallibility, and the legend becomes folklore. The real-world storms and deep oceans are mysterious enough.